In November 2007, a security camera in Fresno, California, captured two creatures walking across a man's front yard that investigators still cannot explain to this day. This footage was studied by television investigators, tested with puppets, costumes, and multiple camera setups, and none of them matched what was on that tape. What you are about to see are 3 real sightings, all caught on camera, all verified, and all still unexplained. November 2007, Fresno, California. A man named Jose was lying in bed when his dog started barking uncontrollably outside. His dog was barking at something in the yard. Jose had installed a second-hand CCTV system months earlier, after bicycles were stolen from his property. He had 2 cameras, one at the driveway, one near the front door. The monitor sat right beside his bed. When he looked at the monitor that night, he saw 2 white figures on his front lawn. Long thin legs, no arms, no torso, no head, just legs, gliding across the yard with a strange floppy motion, then disappearing off screen. Jose woke his brother immediately. His brother went outside to check. His brother claimed to find small footprints in the yard, but by the time investigators arrived, rain had washed everything away. Jose brought the footage to the local Univision television station. Paranormal investigator Victor Camacho was brought in. And in 2010, the SyFy show Fact or Faked Paranormal Files sent a full team to Fresno. They tested puppets, costumes, multiple camera setups. None of them matched. The team officially declared the footage unexplained. The original footage was later lost. The only copy that exists is a video of a video. Jose filmed his monitor with a handheld camera, making it even grainier. And to this day, no one has ever proven what those 2 figures were. June 5th, 2025, Compton, California. It is just past 1 a.m. The streets are empty. The neighborhood is completely quiet. Most people on this block have been asleep for hours. But outside one particular house on this street, something is about to happen that nobody will be able to explain. Inside the house, a woman is asleep in her bedroom. She has lived in this neighborhood for years. She knows her neighbors. She knows the sounds of her street. And she has never had reason to feel unsafe in her own home. Until tonight. Months earlier, the woman had installed a ring security system around her property. 3 cameras in total, one at the front door, one at the side of the house, and one covering the backyard. She had installed them for peace of mind. She never expected to actually need them. At 1:08 a.m., one of her cameras activated. The motion sensor had been triggered. Something outside had moved close enough to the property to set off the system. What the camera captured was not a person. It was not an animal. It was not anything that the woman, or anyone who later viewed the footage, could identify. A tall, impossibly thin figure was standing just outside the property line. Its proportions were wrong. Its limbs were too long. Its movement, when it finally moved, was unlike anything human. The figure stood there for several seconds, completely still, as if it was watching the house. Then it moved, slowly, and disappeared from the frame. The camera continued recording for several more minutes, but the figure never appeared again. What makes this case particularly disturbing is what happened next. The woman reviewed her footage in the morning. When she saw the figure, She immediately went to her neighbor to ask if anyone had been outside that night. Her neighbor confirmed. Nobody had been outside. Nobody had walked past. Nobody had been near that fence. But here is what troubled investigators the most. Of the 3 cameras installed on that property, only one captured the figure. The other 2 cameras, covering different angles of the same property, recorded nothing. No movement, no figure, nothing, as if whatever was outside knew exactly where the blind spots were. The woman contacted NBC Los Angeles. The story was picked up immediately. The footage aired on local news and then spread across the internet within hours. Thousands of people watched the clip and tried to find an explanation. The responses were divided. Some said it was a tall person in a costume. Others pointed out that the movement was wrong. A person walking would shift their weight differently. The figure in the footage moved with a smoothness that didn't match normal human motion. Others focused on the proportions. The figure appeared to be significantly taller than a normal adult, with limbs that were longer relative to the body than any human. And then there was the question that nobody could answer. Why did only one camera catch it? If it was a person walking past, all 3 cameras should have picked up the movement at some point. But they didn't. NBC Los Angeles contacted local authorities. Police reviewed the footage but were unable to make an identification. No official explanation was ever provided. The woman was never told what had been standing outside her home that night. She has since moved. The Compton Ring camera footage remains one of the most debated pieces of unexplained security camera footage captured in recent years. No costume has ever been matched to the figure. No person has ever come forward to claim they were outside that night. And the question of what the camera captured on June 5th, 2025, at 1:08 in the morning, remains completely unanswered. Only one of 3 cameras caught it. March 13th, 1997, Phoenix, Arizona. It is a Thursday evening. The temperature is mild. The sky is clear. Families are finishing dinner. Children are doing homework. It is a completely normal night in one of the largest cities in America. And then, at approximately 7:30 p.m., everything changes. The first report comes from Henderson, Nevada, just outside Las Vegas. A man steps outside his house and looks up at the sky. What he sees stops him completely. A V-shaped object, enormous in size, with 6 lights arranged along its leading edge, is moving slowly and silently southward. He reaches for the phone and calls the police. He is not the last person to make that call tonight. Over the next hour, reports begin flooding in from across the entire state of Arizona. Prescott, Prescott Valley, Dewey, Chino Valley, Phoenix, Tucson. The same object, or something identical to it, is being seen by hundreds of people simultaneously, moving slowly across the state from north to south, at an altitude that witnesses estimate to be thousands of feet, and at a speed far too slow for any conventional aircraft. Hundreds of calls flood into police stations across Arizona. Officers step outside their stations to look at the sky. Some of them see it too. Calls also flood into Luke Air Force Base on the western edge of Phoenix. The base refuses to comment. Controllers at Sky Harbor International Airport in Phoenix report nothing unusual on radar. But the witnesses keep calling. Witnesses on the ground describe the experience in almost identical terms. The craft was massive, larger than anything they had ever seen in the sky. It moved in complete silence. No engine noise, No sonic boom. Nothing. Just an enormous dark shape blocking out the stars as it passed overhead. Some witnesses report that it was so large, it took several minutes to pass completely over them. Several residents managed to capture the object on video using handheld camcorders. The footage is grainy, shaky, filmed in the dark by people who are frightened and confused. But the lights are clearly visible, arranged in a V shape, moving slowly across the sky, in complete silence. Then at approximately 10 p.m., something different happens. A second event occurs directly over the city of Phoenix. This time, it is not a moving craft. It is a stationary formation. A perfect arc of glowing orbs appears in the sky over the city and simply hovers. They do not move. They do not flicker. They simply hang in the sky, completely still, for several minutes. Hundreds of people across Phoenix watch the lights from their driveways, their rooftops, their backyards. Many of them are filming. The phones at every television station in the city begin ringing. People want to know what they are looking at. Nobody has an answer. Then, one by one, the lights begin to disappear. Not moving away, not flying off into the distance, simply switching off, as if whatever was producing them had decided it was done. Within days, the footage is everywhere. It airs on local Phoenix news stations, then national networks. Millions of people watch the video of the lights hovering over one of the largest cities in America, and nobody can explain what they are looking at. The official response comes weeks later. The United States Air Force releases a statement claiming that the lights were flares. Specifically, they say the lights were LUU-2BB illumination flares dropped by A-10 aircraft from the Maryland Air National Guard during a training exercise at the Barry M. Goldwater Range southwest of Phoenix. The explanation is immediately challenged by witnesses and researchers. First, the flare's explanation only accounts for the second event, the stationary lights at 10 p.m. It does not explain the first event, the enormous V-shaped craft that moved silently across the entire state from Nevada to Tucson over the course of more than an hour. Flares do not travel hundreds of miles. Flares do not maintain a perfect V formation. And flares do not block out the stars as they pass overhead. Researchers also point out that the Barry M. Goldwater Range is located southwest of Phoenix, but the witnesses who reported the V-shaped craft described it moving from north to south, passing over communities to the north and west of Phoenix before reaching the city. The math simply does not work. But perhaps the most damaging challenge to the official explanation comes from the man who was governor of Arizona on the night of March 13, 1997, Fife Symington. In the days following the sightings, Symington held a press conference. He announced that his office had found the culprit. His aide then walked out dressed in an alien costume. Symington laughed. The crowd laughed. The official message was clear. This was nothing. Move on. 10 years later, in 2007, Fife Symington gave an interview to CNN, and what he said shocked everyone who heard it. He admitted that he himself had witnessed the craft on the night of March 13, 1997. He described it as enormous, silent, and unlike any aircraft he had ever seen. He said it was definitely not from this world. And he stated that he had staged the press conference with the alien costume specifically to calm the public panic, because he had no explanation to give them. A sitting governor had witnessed an unidentified craft over his own state and hidden it from the public for 10 years. The Phoenix lights remain to this day the most witnessed UFO event in recorded American history. More than 10,000 people reported seeing something that night. The event spans 2 states, lasts more than 2 hours, and was captured on video by dozens of residents. The military has never provided an explanation for the first event. The governor admitted he saw something he could not explain. And the people of Arizona who were outside on the night of March 13, 1997, have never forgotten what they saw looking up at the sky. Thousands of witnesses, multiple videos, a governor's confession, and still, after nearly 30 years, no real answer. 3 cameras, 3 locations, 3 sightings that governments, investigators, and scientists have never been able to fully explain. The Fresno Nightcrawlers were studied by television investigators and declared unexplained. The Compton alien was captured on a Ring camera and never identified. The Phoenix Lights were witnessed by more than 10,000 people, including the governor of Arizona, who hid what he saw for 10 years. The cameras do not lie. The witnesses do not lie. And the questions that these 3 cases leave behind have never been answered. Whether you believe in the paranormal or not, something was out there. Something was caught on camera. And nobody, to this day, can tell you what it was. If you made it this far, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.